comes a fantastic play.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Ladies.
Caught a pixel out of place, but no. PaperX keep them.
No, I think we can do it better. I want to hear you loud and proud.
Caught a pixel out of place, but no. PaperX keep themselves safe.
No, I think we can do it better. I want to hear you loud and proud. Are you ready? Let's welcome your two finalists, Evil Geniuses and PaperX. First up, it's Jing! Giacomo! Mind Freak! Ethan! Forsaken! And Coach Alex! And Potter!
Honestly, at the start of this year, I kind of already had an idea that this might be my last year playing. Everyone in Singapore has to go to the army and I'm of that age right now. Of course, I'm scared and like anxious. I don't know what's like waiting in front of my life, but
Here we go. PaperX versus EG.
I just wanted to give it my all, like really all, so I wouldn't have any regrets.
Jing holds the line. Jing, and the transfer comes in. The defuse is there, and we are not done yet.
Everything was like surreal. I would have never expected to be in the grand finals of a Champions.
It feels so impossible sometimes just to play rounds against them.
You have performances like that. What does that do to the spirit of the team from having, lost such a close game?
It's just always like a humbling experience. But this year has been about second chances. No one expected us to be here. It really shapes your mental. Going through all those ruts. Don't think about what these people online have to say. Just enjoy it while you're here. As long as you do that, you can have no regrets.
Evil Genius VALORANTgeniuses pulling up once more, a bit of a repeat of history.
We've had so many second chances this year, and we've always made sure we take full advantage of that opportunity.
Copenhagen, it was like our peak. There was a world where we actually won the grand finals. Champions, we bombed out, we didn't even get into playoffs. Lock-in, we lost first round. It was like rock bottom. It was like a really big moment for all of us, so I think all of us really woke up.
We went from a team everyone counted as down and out, and we became one of the best teams in the world. But there's always something to be better at. So like, having that sort of support behind me is just like undescribable.
Before I joined PaperX, I was like really quiet and I was always like just doing my own thing. But now, I don't know, I just feel like I've grown a lot to become like a better person.
This core has been together for so long, but that big global trophy has always eluded them. But you gotta think this time around, this is their chance.
It's more than just trophies. You know, like we need to grow up as good people, and we need to just have as much fun as we can.
It took a lot to get to where we are, so I want to be known as a hard-working team. But be free and have fun. That's what we're going to need to win the grand finals.
I give my heart and soul. I wear my heart on my sleeve no matter what, and I'm gonna give it my everything to beat PaperX.
If this is my real last tournament and I never come back, I'm just proud of everyone in my team for going through this journey with me. I hope the fans just remember like this era of PaperX. But if I win, I think it will be a really great ending for me.
The rest is history.
Just one more series to close out the year. History is going to be made no matter what happens. EG or PaperX will lift their first ever global trophy right here in the Kia Forum. And Mimi, you saw it in the trailer. You see what it means to the both of them. It is going to be a crazy and emotional series.
Both these teams have had a core that have been together for years, that have been grinding it out regionally, waiting for an opportunity. They've both been in a final before, had an opportunity to win a global trophy, but it eluded both these teams. And it's one more chance this year. It's the last game forging with this iteration of PaperX, and it's EG's last chance to complete their Cinderella run, to go from that team that no one expected to do anything to a team who could be the world champions.
That's the thing, it's the largest stage to try to get it done. That much more pressure, that much larger of an audience, that much more pomp and circumstance to get themselves up here onto this stage, into this moment. I can't imagine the pressure that these players have to be feeling coming into this one right now. We know that these are both teams that love to say it's all about having fun. We want to go up there, we want to have those good vibes. We want to just have fun and not let the pressure seep in. But you all people know, Sean, that is not impossible to lock out. You can't block everything.
No, and that's why they took that team huddle. Both of these teams, so much similarities, right? The coach having so much control over the team, the innovation we're seeing out of both of them. They both brought in star duelists in the middle of their seasons. The similarities are honestly, you can't stop. These teams are so alike.
Yeah, let's talk about those two coaches, because you guys heard that when Alex and Potter walked out to this crowd, the cheers, the love that they received. I mean, for Potter especially, both of them used to play on the teams they currently coach, but a lot of people doubted her, Mimi. A lot of people criticized her, but she's answered back and she's proved why she's one of the best.
EG is now the team leading the meta in a lot of ways in this game. They are one of the best in the world, and Potter has been there since the beginning. She was playing on this team, like you mentioned, when EG EG was first signed, and she's been there, has made the hard choices, dedicated to cutting BCJ, to picking up Demon One, to taking all these risks to get this team to the position they're in now. But it's the same case for the other side. Alex has had to make those tough decisions too.
Exactly. Alex has had to make all those same exact decisions, right? Getting rid of Bankai. That's the in-game leader of your team. You're facing with a star duelist.
Fan favorite too, yeah.
Yeah, and you let this star player take a duelist role over someone like Forsaken. I mean, that is a crazy decision that he made at that time, but look where he is now. He was so confident. And in addition to all that, they bring a stand-in Gecko in Tokyo and then still plays third. I can't praise these two coaches enough, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they both have very similar styles, or at least very similar results when it comes down to trying to calm down their players and get them refocused on the game. Obviously, Alex a bit more emotive compared to Potter, who's widely just sitting there going, nice, and everything like that. Alex is slamming the desk. He's getting frustrated when they're not doing everything perfectly, but he knows how to slow things down. He knows how to pull them aside. I mean, there's a famous clip of him just taking something and saying, I want you to turn your brain off. And then he went into the very next round, and they just swept the rest of that series. That is that connection that you have as a coach to your players that every single team would love to have.
Yes, and that's a strategic coach telling his player, go out there swinging, right? I want you playing a grindy style that the other team is not ready for. You have the skill. And I see that same stuff when I watch Potter. That's what makes these teams so amazing, is the coaches know how to innovate. They know how to create set plays, but they're also willing to relinquish all that control and give it back to the players.
Yeah, and I think for both these teams, it's that recovery aspect. It's coming back from so many doubts, from such bad starts to the year, to now making it here. Bustu in the press conference the other day said that people might think that they're the villains, but that they've lost a lot. They got used to it. 2021, 2022, they did nothing but losing. But he said that being here in the grand finals of champions, going on this run with teammates, with the coach he's been with for years, it's a dream come true for him, especially in front of this crowd here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, the crowd, they're always behind EG every step of the way. But let's talk about the star players as well on each side. We got Demon One and something. Yes, he missed out at Tokyo, but he could potentially lift a trophy in his first ever global event without losing a single series set.
I mean, it would be nuts to just become a Royal Roader right off the rip, come into this thing as somebody who's playing around Japan, dominating, and then make the run all the way to grabbing that trophy. But Demon One would be a very similar story, obviously, on the opposite side. Both of these guys have had such explosive impact from the moment that they joined into their rosters. It's unprecedented how much of a different look we've seen from both of these squads. But you heard it from Jing there in the video ahead of this, saying we felt like we were just in a pit. We were at our rock bottom after our losses at Lock-In, at Champions last year. They weren't that team that hit their stride at Copenhagen, that made it to a grand finals. They were in a slump, and the addition of Demon One as well as something has just reinvigorated and reinvented both teams.
Really has, and yeah, they're both rookies. I mean, I feel like this final is for Rookie of the Year and the Champions title right now, which is absurd that these two teams have such impactful rookies. The fact that Demon One played Brimstone, played Astra throughout this run, in addition to these Star Duelist roles, he's been noticing he doesn't even like using the Operator, despite probably being the best one in our region right now. He is a very special player that Potter just somehow knew to bring into this team.
And what's insane as well is that every single global tournament, we talk about history, we talk about going back for those first two champions, every Masters tournament before this, they were always just sitting at home, watching, aspiring to be there, to have that opportunity. I don't think either of them could have imagined they would be here this year. They get picked up partway through the season, join their team, and both of them go on this incredible run to make it here to the grand final for both of them in their rookie year.
Yeah, and they get to do it in front of this crowd. Yes, it is the home crowd for EG, but throughout this tournament, every single time PaperX have played, we've seen the fans turn up. We've seen them here with their jerseys, with their signs. They love this PaperX team. I feel like just as much as they maybe love the EG side too.
It's a team that is very difficult to dislike. I think that even though if you have people who are out here holding up signs for EG, they'll probably admit, like, yeah, I'm a PaperX fan as well. Like, this is a squad that you just cannot hate. And a lot of that did start with Bankai, the former IGL, the guy who had the goofy walkouts that was always in the content videos and whatnot, just kind of leading the charge for the squad. He's gone, but that love has remained because the rest of this team, even with the addition of something, is still just as lovable.
I mean, they really are the most lovable team in the scene, right? It's impossible to dislike PaperX. How they play the game, it's so refreshing. And if you talk to the players, they create everything on their own. They copy zero tactics from other teams. That's very atypical in the pro scene. Most people aren't trying to reinvent the wheel. They just kind of copy it and move things around. That's what EG does. Yeah, PaperX is not that team at all. That's why we see the Harb Arena. That's why we see these crazy comps come out of them. And it's so refreshing to see a team like that succeed.
And that's why this match is so difficult for EG. We've seen these two teams play up against each other before, but I think PaperX is the hardest team to prepare for, period, because they are the squad that it's not always the same thing. It's not always a meta comp. It's built on their flexibility, their ability to come up with incredible plays on the fly. So this is where the pressure is on for Boostio, for Potter, the leadership of Evil Geniuses, to find the right read, to be able to counter this PaperX team that no one has been able to shut down at Champions thus far.
Yeah, Boostio himself, he spoke about this as well. He was not super happy about facing off against PaperX again. Here's what he had to say after their last match. It feels impossible sometimes just to play around against them. And honestly, it's not fun to play against them. But the thing is, if there was any team that could maybe take them down, any team with a prep, any team with a mental resilience, right now, Sean, in this moment, it's probably Boostio and EG.
Yeah, it's Boostio and Potter. That tandem right there has put together some incredible anti-strat gameplays over the course of this year. Not even looking at this tournament, the whole year. That's just how they operate. But playing PaperX, and he says it there, it's a different beast. You can prep all you want until you're in that server and you get punched in the face. There is no team. I know EG has that B team. They scrim against B teams. They're one of the only teams in the entire scene that has a 10-person roster that they can scrim against the secondary team and play the comp. But that's not playing against Jing, Forsaken.
Sure.
It's not the same thing.
A very different beast, but I mean, this does go both ways, because PaperX, how do you prepare for an EG squad that is so good at mid-round pivoting, at making decisions on the fly, that have just fantastic decision-making moment over moment, and we saw it time and time again from Comp, just being able to just lurk into this back line. They have to keep it ingrained in their brains. If you have not seen Comp, he's behind you. If they can memorize that, then they have a very good shot of shutting him down. But he's so good at slipping the net and striking when it's least expected.
The clutches are what have defined so many of these series for EG. They said they were a team of second chances, of capitalizing upon those opportunities when they're given them. They lost last time versus PaperX. They let the game slip. It was in their control. This is their chance for redemption. And for both these teams, it really is going to be a battle of the mental. Something is talked about how in some of the earlier matches of this tournament, he was shaking in the first few rounds. He needed a timeout from Alex to calm him down, to get him focused. There is so much pressure on these guys, and they can see in the middle of the stage that trophy, and only one of them can lift it.
Yeah, I mean, they've both been in this position before in front of that trophy, and they both lost out. But let's talk about the actual maps here, the 5 maps that we could potentially see, starting with splits. Do you guys feel like this is a case of whoever starts off fast and get on the board is just going to take this in a sweep, or are we looking at a marathon?
I think we're all in agreement that this is going to be a marathon.
Yes.
Both teams have proven that they have the mental resilience to not get swept, to be able to fight back. PaperX we're the first ones to pull off that reverse sweep to begin with. Split on the horizon, I do expect that this is going to be very PaperX favor, just given that EG haven't quite really figured things out in this map, but we'll see if they've made any changes.
Well, we were going to see right here, right now, in the Prime Gaming Agent Select, and here it is.
Yes, they have.
They have.
Wow, they put Demon on the jet, Yinsu. I love it. They went back to their double duelist they were running before in VCT Americas. This is a comp they're great at. Demon 1 had been playing Astra throughout this tournament. They had a 28% win rate on the defensive half. They're looking to turn that around.
And versus Loud, we saw that chamber composition get exploited. This is the comp that helped EG go on their run in Americas. They're excellent at it. You get Jajimo, one of the best Raze players in the world, versus Jing. I think they're the 2 best in the world. And what a matchup to start us on.
I mean, we just have mirrored composition across the board between these two squads. It's going to come down to who pilots this the best. Obviously, EG with a little pivot. How warmed up are they going to be on this? I think there's still going to be some comfort there, so still some concerns for PaperX, but this is what they have been running for quite some time. For Jing, though, this is the final ride. This is the last dance PaperX one more chance to try to lift the trophy. Can they start with the right foot forward and get this win here on Split?
The moment you've been waiting for is finally here. The agents are locked in and we are ready for map 1 of the grand finals between EG and PaperX. And we've got 2 of the very best to take you guys through this Kia Forum. Give a warm welcome to Pansy and Hypok.
What a beautiful day for what could be some of the best fucking Valorant we have ever seen. This final is nuts. PaperX, last chance to dance form, right? Jing about to have to step away, but he could leave his mark in the scene. And EG, the ultimate Cinderellas.
Absolutely, and actually an opportunity to really capture the villain arc. Deny Jing the final exit in Valorant with a trophy in hand. I mean, what an absolute spectacle we have here today. I can't wait to get things started here, Lauren.
And it all starts on Split. The thorn in the side for EG. It's not looked good this event. But they've changed. They've adjusted. They've come in with a different comp. And we are right into things. No messing around. It'll be PaperX on the attack. EG on the defense. And this is going to be a marathon of a game.
Initial tag comes through. Actually, Boostio are going to a little bit of damage here, but gets healed up. Actually sits inside the cloud burst. Going to take down one before Saken trades out.
Yeah, so far so good. They've still kept their composure here. EG racking up the bodies though. Device still standing, still controlling space. The rest of EG need to temper themselves a little bit here. PaperX have divided this map up. They've got the site now.
Look at the HP bars though. Everybody from PaperX tagged up here. Jorgamo, no utility.
Look at Demon 1.
This frenzy could do real work here, Lauren.
Oh, Jorgamo finding Jing, now down to 2, and the HP is low. Paint Shell back up, and Mind Freak feels that! He's down, and now it's all on Defy. Spotted and deleted! EG, round 1.
Expecting things to be pretty explosive here. The thing I've got my eye on immediately with this comp change is the B-side control here from Evil Geniuses. Obviously, stepping onto the Astra, we have no questions about the mechanical talent of Demon 1. But in terms of anchoring that site, there were concerns previously. Boostio now to
let's go, John.
Fill those shoes. Comp obviously is that second layer of the B-side defense. Definitely something PaperX could potentially try to exploit.
They certainly could, and for me, my eyes throughout this series will be locked towards Com as well. Proven to be a big stage player, and there is no bigger stage now. For PaperX, we're looking at damage here. Sheriff's in hand, yes. A little bit of a test, and of course, they're going to be walking into somewhat of the unknown, right? They maybe expected EG to come out as they had previously throughout this event. Maybe had a chance of kicking off this best of 5 with a very favorable start. However, already big info found, and look at Jordan.
I'm close and personal here with the judge. Plenty of PaperX bodies on the other side. I think Boombot will reveal that. Forced away. Connects fully with Demon 1. Finds one ahead of the Viper wall.
This guy with the Guardian is something else still. Oh, that's dangerous something. Bests him. It started well here, warming himself up into this matchup. Jorgamo going to deny any comfort towards ramp, and that's the spike dropped. Goes a little further ahead. They need to calm themselves here, kind of feeding into the beast. PaperX will be happy to take any of those bodies. And now they've got some rewards, a judge, a Guardian, and now an opportunity. Com, though, denies it, retakes that Heaven control, and leaves them with the 2 who are towards the site. Mind Freak finding Com.
Player standing.
And now just Mind Freak. Found in the end, but it got dicey. I think we're seeing some of that nervousness, that almost over-peaking here.
Yeah, damage done here by the Sheriffs. You can see something desperate to try and make a play happen with the Guardian. Com just actually perfect timing inside the smoke there, just to remove that threat. For an explosive start, no surprises there, especially with the comp change. Jorgamo actually one away from the showstopper already. Fantastic progress on his part.
And it looks like PaperX have a really good idea of how they want to approach at least this round, right? It is the bonus, so whatever's left in the EG pocket, they're going to bring back in. So the Guardian, the Stinger, and the Judge are still into play, but it's not a great deal. PaperX should be looking to win this cleanly. Opting for the A site as their eventual goal on the attack. They're going to get the plant pretty much unscathed. As we noted, EG mostly stacking towards B.
One is open here, so PaperX going to disengage, try and take some Heaven control back. Flash will open things up. I think it did just pop inside the smoke though. I'm not entirely sure what happened off screen, but EG already poised for this retake.
I'm scared because of this man. Jorgmo can at least clear the sight. He does. Forsaken's fallen, but can they clear the rest of this? It's going to be a late wrap towards heaven for Paper Rex to try and keep control of this fight, but there's an issue. They don't have eyes on it yet, and Com's position could have been a disaster. It's not. Jing still standing, still fighting, gets 3, keeps it safe, but it is a 2v2. And there is a rifle, the pink shell! Jorgmo! That's nuts! And the 1v1, Ethan down solo, has to just stand and face! There's something gonna get Paper X there first, but Michael, the casualties are off the charts.
I mean, they bring a Guardian and scraps into that round.
Yep.
They bring it down to just one rifle taken away in the hands of Paper X. Even here, Com, desperate to try and retake this space. I think EG have the perfect read of exactly what's going on here. As soon as they've noted that it's only one member in the form of Forsaken down on site. Unfortunately, things get shut down. Something, one away from the Blade Storm already. I was looking at the showstopper that did come out in the last round from Jorgmo. Very quickly up ramp here. Nothing inside the gravity. The flash will pave the way here. So initially just a little bit of a fake here to feign some aggression towards A side. 3 members of EG in position, but Trailblazer will, yeah, finally noting.
Yep. Well, adds a little comfort
Well,
to
that's a
Dish.
headshot through the box
Bloody
there.
hell.
Ethan, lucky to survive that.
Yeah, down to 56, but he can at least get Demon 1 back up to fighting HP. And you can see the rest of Paper X taking their time here. Feels like plans up, but so unawares. Ethan takes a little bit of a glimpse and he takes something's life. The site now difficult to take with Demon 1. Position will be revealed, but they don't quite know exactly where he's waiting. The flash follow-up wasn't good enough. Forsaken's found him. That's perfect. They've allowed a little bit of room now to get that plant down. They can at least have time on their side.
Taking well Seekers here as well. Invested off the rip. Com going to be played in here potentially. He actually pulls the trigger too early. Might bring down the first, but Com, he will get the trade.
But it's not over yet. Jorgmo going to be noted and kept in check by Devi here. A big battle, and Devi's won it. Fantastic work in a 2v2 now. Forsaken! Lovely connection towards Com, and it's all in Boostio's hands in a 1v2. Oh, he's eating that flash. He's so blind. I don't know how he's still alive. Taps the spike and looks for Devi. Not going to be entertained. Beautiful control from Paper X.
We'll tie things up 2 apiece. Evil Geniuses, another round where we're seeing them happy to try and initiate some sort of aggression that wants to be the aggressors towards Paper X. It could be something that, you know, has been alluded to. Boostio was saying how difficult it is to play against them when, you know, you give them time and space to set up for some of the chaotic things that they like to incorporate into their game plan.
Looking at the stack, this time it is on the correct side of the map for EG as Paper X are eyeing this up. This could be pretty violent here. Something going to get ahead of this, but it could be now a little vulnerable. You can see the temptation. Boostio's been caught off. Well controlled by Ching. Now looking to try and get a little forward. The Bucky back into play. Ching on their heels though. So aggressive. The
No way.
Flies through the air. Finding Ching, and it's a 1v3. This is a little out of check, I feel. Com's a fantastic player, but this one might need miracles. And there's already that mid-lurk. His position's noted. I think Paper X are making their way through the woods here.
Yeah, cognizant of the threat. Com, a 1 in 3 chance to convert a clutch situation, but this one feels a little out of reach. Even here, if you find Forsaken or Mind Freak, the lowest funds on Paper X. Doesn't look like he's going to make an honest go of things here, and Paper X should be able to disengage from sight. Jorgmo, though, making that Bucky sing.
He's keeping dangerous, but Paper X, again, these rounds, they may look close, but it almost suits Paper X in their playstyle. They'll take a brawl.
Absolutely.
They'll never turn that down.
No.
Behave. Behave. No. Get at Com.
None of that today.
Relax.
None of that today.
Relax. Okay. Oh.
Well, he's talking about removing Mind Freak and Forsaken. They fall into the spike. Something's got his Blade Storm, so not going to matter too much, but actually, Showstopper online as well, so both ultimates that will offset the second. The second of the Jing was Pretty wild.
Yes. I mean, you're looking at the ult zone, Mike. EG having 3 just on the cusp, 1 away for Ethan, Bustio, and Com, and also obviously Jorgamo and Demon have theirs ready. On the other side, some very impactful ults as well, so this could be a high value round, and Jing is making no subtleties of the side that he wants. Leading the way towards B, showstoppers popped, and they're going to have to respect this. They have to sit deep.
They posting it as well. Com already very early exploration down mid here. Look at the minimap. Look how late Devi is planning to play on this.
But look how aggressive PaperX are getting.
Yeah.
They're taking CT space. They're willing to challenge for every step that EG wants to take. Demon One's got his work cut out here. You can see it. Judge round the corner. Bye-bye. Demon One denies something and does the dance. Back and forth. He's got Jing. And now Jorgamo popping the other one to clear out by Pillar. That's his. EG sweeping through the site. It's Forsaken and Devi left standing in a 2v4. Devi still in play, and Devi shows his hand. Looks for more, doesn't get more. EG back in business.
What a phenomenal retake by EG. And this aggression is all tailor-made to play in Devi, to force EG deeper into spawn, slow things down, but Demon One paying no respect. It's another round that, for me, is a big adjustment on the back of the things that Bustio's alluding to. Don't want to give PaperX the time, the comfort to be aggressive.
One enemy remaining.
He's on a solo mission here, by the way. He challenges the divide in spawn. There's a judge there.
Yes.
And then Jing is the second player behind that.
That felt almost unbreakable, that positioning, but we go back in. It's going to be maybe an initial start here for Demon One. Going to invest in the knives straight away. The flash could encourage. See how he plays this one out. Again, Ethan receiving most of the contact to this, but there is presence in middle. PaperX want to take space here.
This will be the round win that actually gets the operator in hand for Demon One as well. He sees saving through with the Blade Storm. To say that, on the back of contact elsewhere, they've kind of loosened this hold on a site.
Yeah, Ethan's drifting away, and you can see the PaperX are starting to stack up. You've got 5 pretty much present towards A. It's going to leave it in the hands of, well, I mean, some dangerous players. Jorgamo, one of them. First casualty, caught, Jing. Pain Shell denies any space coming directly towards the site, but it kind of plays in Demon One a little, but Heaven is the next target of focus for PaperX.
Seekers go through. It's not very deep here. Demon One just chomping at the bit.
He wants in.
Wants to get involved, and he does. Something will fall.
Oh, tried to go for the follow-up, but PaperX, as said, will always be ready to fight. Jorgamo goes back in again. These re-hits are always going to be happy for PaperX. They'll take this. They've brought it down to a 3v3.
Indeed, they've got options here, but Bustio still in a position to cut off the rotation. Forsaken. Battered and bruised will find the plant regardless.
Yeah,
tag onto Com as well, down to 15 HP. Has to get healed up.
Yeah, they fought for that space, hard earned. Heaven still held. They'll flash into the timing on that, but Mind Freak on the bailout, finding 2 and gets his 3rd. PaperX, don't challenge these boys in a brawl. They are looking lethal.
Another 3K from Mind Freak. What's his signature move this event?
Yeah.
Find PaperX a 4-3 lead here. Beautiful stuff, but I gotta say, I'll come back to the same point. We see this same sort of thing between Ethan and Jorgamo a couple of times now, the flash out from screens and the satchel from elbow, but Evil Geniuses are happy to go toe-to-toe. They don't just want to take a beating. They don't want to sit back and let PaperX execute on them.
And now Jorgamo popping the other one to clear out by Pillar. That's his! EG sweeping through the site.